where if we make a dua, we feel already that this dua is really granted to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can you hear me at the back there now? No. We heard you say no, that means you heard us. خلاص انا امسكه في يدي احسن امسك في اليد هذه شيلها. Is that better? MashaAllah. The point I was raising a little bit earlier was that Allah Almighty grants us 2 points of joy and happiness. As per the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has a good side to it and a very bad side to it as well. There are people earning Jannah through TikTok, and there are others earning Jahannam through the same means. Imagine when you die, what would you like there to be? Many of our brothers and sisters, perhaps more so the sisters, they get a lot of excitement by showing themselves on some of these applications without realizing the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us that there will come a time when women will want to expose themselves and they will want to turn heads of people in order to quench the what? May Allah grant us goodness. May Allah protect us from harm. In order to quench the attention that they are seeking. So when you seek attention, you do some silly things. You semi-remove your clothes and you keep shaking your body and you want everyone to say, wow, great, show me more. Let's see. You are leaving a legacy. When you die, that video will remain for generations. And where are you? You are with Allah. How did it help you, my sister? How did it help you, my brother? Subhanallah. The Prophet ﷺ says that from the categories of those who will be burning in hellfire, and it's important we mention this hadith. From among the women, those who are clothed with the intention of revealing. Oh, have you heard that? I covered myself with the intention of showing something. What are you showing? Your shape. What else are you showing? Subhanallah, the young boys are speaking. Look. What else are you showing? This is a hadith. I'm not talking of my words from my pocket. You are either wearing something too tight or too thin. It is already a prophecy of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and you are going to leave a legacy. People are going to look at you and follow you. Never mind, your sin might be forgiven, but what about those who kept on following you after your death? We show a cleavage as though it's okay. And we say, thank you so much. When a young man who's not supposed to be looking, and by the way, you should be lowering your gaze, people say, MashaAllah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What legacy are you leaving? And I'm not trying to attack the sisters, because the brothers are equally guilty for adding fuel to fire by commenting in a negative way, thinking it's positive. MashaAllah, how beautiful. I love it. Excellent, etc. We know what's going on in the world. Starting from who to get married to and how. What are the roles and responsibilities of a husband and wife towards each other and their children? How and when to complement each other. And lastly, your parents and how best to serve them. For the first time ever, we are going to enable every one of you to learn all about how to achieve a blessed home from Quran and Sunnah with a single click in your own language in state-of-the-art courses, inshallah. The series will consist of 2,000 episodes covering in detail in 3 to 7 minute videos using state-of-the-art animations paired with groundbreaking detailed work. This series, Assalamualikum wa rahmatullah. My brothers and sisters, you will have to at some stage interact with the opposite sex and even those who are not related to you. You will have to at some point as a human being, when you walk, when you perhaps might go to a public place, in public transport, maybe at a place of the marketplace or wherever else it may be at the doctors, at the pharmacies, at school, at university, wherever it may be, you will have to interact at some point with the opposite sex, those who are not related to you and not mahram. How should you interact with them? I tell you, there is one word: very respectfully. You might say those are two words. Well, very is only descriptive, but when it comes to respectfully, you need to understand that's the word. Be very respectful. Treat them as though they are, the favor of Allah upon you, the opportunity Allah's given you to address the opposite sex. It should be absolutely respectful. It's an act of worship to respect others. And don't ever address a person in a very cheap way, in a very derogatory way, vulgar, abusive, etc., or just without having any shame, shameless way. People just address others as though they have no scruples. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us an understanding. So I am here today to tell you, please respect the opposite sex and even the same gender. Respect all human beings. Make sure when you address them, you bear in mind all the rules and regulations, the rule of controlling your gaze and lowering it, the rule of speaking in a good tone, choosing good words, getting to the point, not saying that which is unnecessary, irrelevant, going into perhaps details that are embarrassing and so on, that which is unnecessary, putting people into a spot in a corner and so on. Remember that. Let's speak to others respectfully. We will have to interact. I interact, you interact, we all have to interact. I don't know of anyone who says, I've never had to in my life or will never have to interact with the opposite sex. You will. You're a human being. And you need to do so respectfully. You need to understand the regulations, the rules, to the best of your ability and capacity. You will address them and inshallah use the best words, because Allah is watching. And whatever you've said is recorded. And it will be held for you or against you. Wouldn't you like, on the Day of Judgment, beautiful book to come out, and this is the way you address the opposite sex. Every word you said is held for you and not against you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let that happen for us. أقول قولي هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.